Soulmate?
It's, well, it's like a best friend, but more. It's the one person in the world who knows you better than anyone else. It's someone who makes you a better person. Actually, they don't make you a better person, you do that yourself. Because they inspire you. A soulmate is someone who you carry with you forever.
Watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow.
So why, when someone tells you that something makes them uncomfortable, you disregard it? What's good, John Lonnie Appleton? If you have a couple of minutes, I have a couple of messages. Yes, you. I told him, take it slow down the mountain. It makes me nervous. And his response was, man, you riding with one of the best. You alright? And so my question is, just because you're comfortable coming down this mountain at whatever speed is comfortable for you, your passenger is expressing that they would prefer to go a little bit slower so they could too be comfortable. Now, is the question, you don't want to be uncomfortable because you're slowing down? Would slowing down make you feel uncomfortable?
Would going fast make you feel uncomfortable?
Going fast would make me feel uncomfortable, but would slowing down make you feel uncomfortable?
But we're going slower down than we was actually coming up.
I felt more safety next to the mountain, but now, nigga, I'm literally one dip away from a tire going over the edge.
That's not happening.
Perhaps not. But what I'm saying is, my question is, would you feel uncomfortable if you slowed down just a little bit going down the mountain? Okay. But I feel uncomfortable going at a higher speed.
What rate would you like to go? 10 miles an hour?
No, I'm making the point that for you to slow down to make me feel comfortable would not cause you to feel uncomfortable. So since you're not experiencing anything either way, uncomfortable or comfortable, why not slow down to make me feel comfortable? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not causing you anything either way, but it's causing me something either way.
Was I really speeding?
No. This is just the point that I'm making, that your speed is fine, but since you're here, I'm inviting you into the talk. But the thing is, if the person that you're with is expressing something you're doing is making them feel uncomfortable, why not stop? Why not do what is necessary to make them feel comfortable? It's not hurting you. You know, it may bother you because someone is directing your actions, but after you get over that little twinge of somebody telling you what to do, just do what makes them feel comfortable. It can avoid an argument. It can avoid the energy of the day being messed up, you know, and it's also may get you some later because, you know, he actually took my feelings into consideration and slowed down. He denied what he wanted and made me feel okay. So I might give him some later. Let's talk disregarding children's feelings. What's good, John Lonnie Appleton? If you have a couple of minutes, I have a couple of messages. The teenager got a speeding ticket, y'all. You have all these conversations and hypothetical situations, and then they still don't listen until it actually happens. Isn't that what I said the other day? I need to touch the stove. Oh, that's why I'm not supposed to speed in a residential. Yeah, that's why. So Dre and I are going through our parenting styles, and our typical teenager tries to shush us. Mom, Dre, that's so unnecessary. And then she comes in our room and she starts complaining about Angel, and she's saying some unnecessary stuff. And I'm like, why do you get to say unnecessary things, but we don't get to say unnecessary things? You can't have it both ways. I was like, what Dre was saying was not hurtful. What Dre was saying was unnecessary. And I think if we stop people from saying the things that are unnecessary, now we're censoring people, and I don't think we need to censor ourselves. We can all agree saying mean and hurtful things needs to stop, period. There's no place for that. But I think we should all be allowed to express ourselves on both sides. So we had a family powwow, and I told Dre, when we're having these conversations, it's not for me to try to stir up an argument. It's for us to come together and have a huddle. You know, we try to play, We blitzed. Is that what it's called? We blitzed. And that blitz didn't really work. So we're going to come together and we're going to huddle and we're going to reconvene and figure out another way. And then we're going to try another play. And we're going to keep trying until we figure it out. And that's situation to situation. But what I told Dre is when you come in there and you do the typical parenting style of taking her keys and not communicating with her, and we don't communicate with our kids because they're kids. I was like, we need to start showing our kids mutual respect. Now, I know that sounds crazy because they're kids, right? But you're showing them respect from human being to human being, treating them how you would want to be treated. And I think that makes perfect sense. I went through a phase with my teenagers where they were like, they don't understand why adults need respect simply because they're adults. I was like, that's just a hierarchy of things. Get it together. But it actually makes sense. And I think everyone deserves respect, from human being to human being. Because what happens if you don't give your kids the respect and the space to communicate their thoughts and ideas, they turn into adults who don't know how to communicate and express their thoughts and ideas. And then people in relationships are running into spouses who, when you try to get them to talk to you about an issue or talk out a problem, they don't want to talk out the problem. Why? Because they've never been given the opportunity to talk out a problem. And when they tried to express themselves, they were shut down because they're kids. And we don't care what they have to say. We don't care why they did what they did. We're just delving out punishments and shutting them down. But then they become adults who shut down. So kids deserve respect too. Let's talk understanding, y'all. What I need from you is understanding. Yo, Escape, reach out if y'all ever need a new member. Your girl got you. What's good, y'all? I'm Lonnie Appleton. If you have a couple of minutes, I have a couple of messages. During our whole responding to the teen getting a speeding ticket, me and Dre both agreed she needs to lose her keys. This is her second infraction on our insurance. First, she gets in an accident after having a car for 6 days. Now that she has another car, she out here driving like a bat out of... Like, for real, y'all. She lucky she ran into a cool cop because it could have went way different than it went today. I'm on the phone with the police officer like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, I'm afraid to say, sir, because I don't know how they identify. So I'm like, yes. Yes. I'm trying to chill on top of South Mountain where I ain't got no service, and I'm on the phone with the police officer like, Lord, if this call drop, what's gonna happen to my kid? Does she want to speed? But anyway, Dre and I agreed that the consequence for her choice to speed and to not heed and to continuously cost us money by messing up with her license, we took her keys. So Dre's taking her keys without explanation. I mean, it's self-explanatory. But in this new parenting space, I feel it's a good practice to communicate. I'm taking your keys. You understand why I'm taking your keys. This is how long I'm taking your keys for. Not just take the keys. Let's have a little conversation. So anyway, Dre's taking the keys and he's taking the car key off of her ring. And then Bailey says, you could just take the whole key. I don't need him. Dre continues doing what he's doing, not speaking. And Bailey then repeats, you can take the whole key. I don't need the key. You're doing too much. It's unnecessary. You already know this teen stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I would be wishing there are moments that I could go back to my childhood and respond the way that my father would respond to me, telling me what I was doing was unnecessary. But I'm not that person. But in another life. Later, Bailey comes in our room and we're having the conversation around, I'm opening up the forum where I'm like, okay, Dre expressed to me, how he feels about that engagement, and you both need to have a conversation. I can't be the conduit. You two can talk to each other. And so Bailey starts talking about how she thought that he was being extra by taking the key off the ring. And Dre said he was taking the key off of the ring because she needed her house key. So while Bailey is thinking Dre is being extra for taking the key off the ring, Dre is actually looking out for Bailey. But if no one is communicating and no one is offering anyone any understanding, how does anybody know? But even without communication, first comes understanding. What? My bad. If Bailey would have just gave Dre the understanding to say, well, he's doing that for some reason, it makes sense to him, then she could have saved herself a whole bunch of frustration about what somebody else was doing instead of thinking it was unnecessary.